All right, so we're on page 2. So remember this anchor chart that we had up the other day? So excellent, I see eyes are looking down, looking at that anchor chart. So what do you notice? What's one thing that you notice about that anchor chart that you remember from when we talked about cause and effect before? What's something that you notice from that anchor chart? Danielle, what's one thing you notice?
I see pictures of what's happening, sentences.
Excellent, pictures and sentences, that's great. Ashley T, wait, Ashley T? Yes, good. Ashley T, what's something that you notice in that chart?
The arrow of what's happening.
Talk about that. So what do you mean, what's happening? How does the arrow help us?
So it's showing like the cause and how the
Cause and it leads to the effect. Great. What's something else that you notice? Great, Sophia.
When it's raining, the girl takes out her umbrella because it's raining. So the cause was like the rain, and the effect was she took out an umbrella.
Fantastic job putting all those pieces together. You all noticed so much. All right, so we did that with just simple sentences last time. Now you all are going to work that cause and effect muscle, and you're going to look for cause and effect in paragraphs. So there might be lots of sentences and lots of words around there, but we might not be able to tell which one is doing what. So let's try one together. So remember from our read aloud story earlier, okay, so from our read aloud story earlier, let's look at this one. She didn't bring my 2 little brothers. They were too small. They would come on a boat when they were older. I didn't see the word because in there. I didn't see any cause and effect. Is there a cause and effect in that paragraph? She didn't bring my 2 little brothers. They were too small. They would come on a boat when they were older. What's a cause and effect? Why something is happening and what happened? Alexis.
They were too small because it's like leading into, so this is the reason why they didn't go on the boat, was because they're too small.
Look at the way, could you see that you were processing that? Could you say again, what would I put in the cause box?
They were too small.
And I love the way your pencils are moving. I'm writing on the board and you're writing. Great, and then I did some great listening. So they were too small, that caused, and as Sophia explained, the effect then, they were too small, so what? Emily? Oh, I see so many pencils moving, great. Excellent. Now, oh, got it, good, good detail, yeah? Good. Good. Yeah. All right, excellent. So lots of pencils moving. Good. Oh, interesting. So, Lauren, could you share what you put in, yes,
black box.
in the effect box?
This,
Yes.
I said, so they couldn't go on the boat.
Ah, that is very interesting. Say it loud and proud one more time.
So they couldn't go on the boat.
Yeah, think about that. So hers is a little bit different than what I did, and I love it. Why might I love it? What did she have? Oh, I love it. Erin's looking down. What did Lauren have that I missed? Yes. What do you think, Olivia?
Because she can now make the sentence, and instead of using because, she can use so.
Interesting. Say it one more time.
For step 3,
Yes.
to rewrite the sentence, she could take out because and just put so.
All right, so let's see. They were, so I might be confused. Now, Olivia, are you saying they were too small because they couldn't go on the boat?
No, what I'm saying is that they were too small, so they couldn't get on the boat.
Interesting. So that word so right there allows you to connect the cause and effect. Excellent. We're going to call that Lauren's strategy. And if we see it, let's see if we can try that again. Because I love that. But now let's go back to Olivia, what she is saying. Could we combine these into a sentence with because? You were such great clue detectives, you found the cause and effect. Let's put them together into one sentence, but it has to have because in it. What would that look like? Great, Sydney.
You could say, because they were too small, they couldn't go on the boat.
Good. Let's see. Because they were too small, they couldn't go on the boat. So that's putting because at the beginning. Because they were too small, they couldn't go on the boat. Great. Is there another way? Great. Kayla.
Her two little brothers couldn't go on the boat because they were too small.
Great. Excellent. Now, share just right before you, Kaylee. Who was that?
Me.
Great, yes. So Sydney's is a little bit different than Kaylee's. Talk about the difference between, they both have because. What's similar, what's different? I love eyes are on the board, you're really looking. Great, Lisbeth.
They're different because one of them begins with the cause and ends with the effects, and the other one is vice versa.
Excellent. That is great noticing. What else is similar or different? Great, Kaylee.
We both include the cause and the effect and because together.
Absolutely, so that is definitely how they're similar, that's great. Where is because in Sydney's? Excellent, where is the because in Kaylee's? Either way, it combines. The key thing is we want to make sure we're not saying they were too small because they couldn't go on the boat. Why can't we do that? Great, Izzy.
Then you're kind of like saying that, like the reason.
Yeah, they were too small.
because they couldn't go on the boat. So you're saying it's like the boat's fault.
Oh,
that
good.
they were too small.
Right. Oh, I love that reasoning. So sometimes when we're doing it, we might be like, oh, the effect is always at the back, or the effect is always at the front. It's not always at all. You have to read so carefully, because you all are such great readers, and think, it's not the boat's fault they're too small. Excellent. That is great job. All right, I'll leave that up there. The next page, try page 3, but now turn and talk with your partner. Read it carefully, think through. We're not going to use Lauren's strategy right now, so don't want to see so, just because. But if, when you're done, below there you want to try out Lauren's strategy and write a sentence with so connecting it, love it. But you don't have to.
Yeah, there were so many steps and she forgot
After a while.
Good, careful, great. Take your time. It gets tricky with so many words. Good, keep going. Yep, doing great, keep going. And you can talk to your partner. Yes, that's your question.
No.
Okay.
So a sentence would be she lost out because there were so many steps.
You could say she forgot why she count the steps because there were so many. She forgot to count the steps because there were so many steps. Okay.
You're pushing the question, yes, and you can see that because. Good. Great, that's perfect, yeah, yeah, you get used to reading upside down. All right.
growling. Yeah, that's what she was so hungry. She wants her spaghetti though. Probably more dangerous. Oh, is that what you're going home for? Did you pack mine? Oh, yeah, the spaghetti. It was just go put in here. Is that bad? I love spaghetti. Yeah, almost hard.
It like doesn't because I feel like
I feel like it's supposed to be in the beginning, but then it's like,
she forgot to count her steps because there were so many steps.
Like it was like very repetitive. Like,
Let's not explain it.
maybe she forgot to count her steps because she didn't do that. Clearly her tears. Clearly she forgot to count her steps because she didn't have a Fitbit.
Oh, that's nice.
Duh.
All right, excellent.
They not have them?
All right, so let's see. Ashley, we're gonna come back together. Ashley, could you share the sentence that you did?
She forgot to count the steps because there were so many.
Oh, loud and proud, I can hear back here.
She forgot to count the steps because there were so many.
Now, Zach, your table, you were really talking about that cause and effect. Could you talk a little bit about what you all were thinking?
I'm just trying to think like the relationship between like the effect and the cause. So like, was there more to it than just like I forgot to count after a while? Were there more pieces in there that like were essential to like the relationship between the cause and effect?
Wow, that is great. So because it's such a long paragraph, maybe there's clues that you might have been missing?
Yeah.
Great, let's keep going.
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of extra information here, like you could totally leave out the first sentence and most of the, I counted the steps as paragraph bundles down, the only part that actually matters for cause and effect is that last half of the sentence.
That's so tricky. It's all those extra words that you don't need, which is different from day one where we just had a sentence and every sentence had details. Great noticing, yeah.
Yeah, because you could even find like a second cause and effect. So, another one you could say was she counted the steps because she had to go down to her room. The effect was she went down the steps and the cause was because her room was, she had to go down the steps to her room.
You're absolutely, but did that cause her, did she have to count the steps?
Oh, so it has to be a half to.
I mean, you sort of want, say it again, say what you're saying. I see what you're saying, I just wanna make sure, because it's great to be thinking about different rules, so I'm not positive, say it again.
So the reason why, first I want to start with the reason why I said that.
Good.
Is because it's obvious what you're looking for, which is, there were so many steps. I mean, she forgot to count after a while because there were so many steps, but because of the extra information that's there in
Yeah.
the passage, you might have a student that'll say, that'll pick out, the effect was she went down the steps to her room, and the cause, no wait, what? No, she counted the steps.
Wait,
and
which is,
cause
the counted, counted is over here?
Yeah,
Okay, counted steps.
and the cause was because she went down the steps to her room. I'm not saying it makes sense, I'm just saying like a student could also bring it out because it's
Absolutely.
wordy.
And exactly, there's a lot in there, so I love that we're thinking about it. Let's think about this. So, so if we try to rewrite this, she went down to her room, the effect was she counted steps. She went down to her room, so she counted steps, we'll use the Lauren strategy. She counted steps because she went to her room. Because she went down to her room, I think you said, right? She went down to her room. What do we think? There's definitely a relationship there, right? You're going down steps and then she's counting. So I think it could work. And it's just a matter of thinking, is it the best example? Ideally, you want the cause and effect to be like it's a must. This happens and then this. Yeah, Liz.
That connection there seems more like a correlation than a causation.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm not gonna get into those terms right now, but exactly. And so, but think about that, but it's great to have different ideas and then to think, does it work? And I mean, I think it definitely works. The other might just be a little tighter in terms of it's forcing something to happen. you know, yes.
Well, I feel like instead of using she counted steps, you could just take that passage and turn it into two different cause and effects instead of making both of the effects like counted steps.
Okay, talk about it.
So it's like she went down the steps because she was going to her room. So instead of like she counted the steps because she was going down to her room,
I
I
see.
feel like it would just be she was going down the steps because she was going to her room.
Shoot, so, here, say it again.
Yeah, or
So
because her room
cause,
was downstairs. So the cause would be she was going to her room, or
She went down the stairs.
what would be a
Because her room, because her room was downstairs, she went down the steps.
yeah.
oh, so wait, Abby came out with like a, so how did Abby restate it, that kind of was like, oh, yeah, so talk about that, what did you just say?
I always like, in my head to do cause, like I always say because, and then I do, like I think about it. So like because her room was downstairs, she went downstairs. Or because her room was on the bottom level, she went downstairs.
So, writing is, that's where it goes off. Because her room was downstairs, the effect,
She went downstairs.
what do you think of that? So it's sort of, they must go hand in hand. You could say because, yeah, like yours was about this, is about the counting, which is not a must that she counts, but it is a must that she goes down the stairs. Think about that. So both all are right, and you're definitely getting this idea of the cause and effect relationship, and think about that. So that's what's really critical. Thinking about this, when you're trying to find the cause, put because in front of it. We'll call that the Abby strategy. So let's try the Lauren strategy here to see about the so. So how would we restate this example with so? Sophia.
Her room was downstairs, so she went down the steps.
Sounds good. Great job. All right, we will keep practicing this. Our passages are going to get longer. There's not always cause and effects in everything, but there's definitely relationships to think about. All right, turn the page over. Try this one all by yourself. And if you could write your name on it and then just rip it off, I'll collect it.